Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Spiritual Grind. We hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to follow, hit the little bell for your notifications when the podcast is posted, and like, follow, and share with your friends. We hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment if there's any topics that you want us to speak about.
Like, follow, share.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jenny. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Spiritual Grind.
Good morning.
How are you all today?
We're great.
Jenny thinks I'm grouchy because we were having some soundboard issues, and then I finally get it to work, and she talks right in the middle of it working, and I was like, anyway, is what it is. So we had a great session yesterday.
No comment.
Yeah, that's probably good because the sign was on. The sign was on.
Here's your sign.
So, had a great session yesterday.
Welcome, everybody. Let's change the energy.
We had a great session yesterday. I think it went well.
Oh, yeah, with our Jen Dan.
It went quite nicely.
Yep.
Here comes the producer in now.
Yep.
She's going to...
Fur and all, evaluating the situation every day.
So, Dr. Jenny brought up a topic today that
I did. I came with my very own topic.
Our very own
in
topic
my
today.
Mary Poppins bag.
And this topic has come up a couple of times in our life here recently.
Yeah.
And actually, it actually stems back, if you remember, at our very first expo years ago, when one of the things was, the rules was you can't teach people that they don't need practitioners.
Yeah.
Do you remember that rule?
I don't, honestly.
That was actually in the rules.
I live to my own drum.
Yeah, we do anyway. But
yeah, it's one of those stupid things where it's a bullshit misnomer out there from
Agreed.
a template of lack. And but what they don't want you teaching people is you heal yourself. And I'm here to explain that mechanism.
right, and I think the major part of it that gets never taught is that the practitioners and the people that help heal you are really just facilitators.
Right. Because nowhere in here am I preaching the premise that I, as a practitioner and a healer myself, I'm not trying to tell people that I'm not doing anything for them.
Yeah.
Because I am. I'm exactly what you said, a facilitator.
Right.
But what I want to clean up in the frequency that's out there in the collective is I want to give it a new definition.
Right.
I want to give it a new way of looking at it. Because the way we currently look at it is I go to a practitioner, they do their woohoo, and I feel miraculously better. And so they get logged as some guru of their technique.
Yeah.
And I can only feel better when I go to them, have them work their little magic wand. And so therefore I'm attached to them, and I've always got to have them every time something comes up.
Right.
And that is not the way this mechanism works.
For sure.
And what it does when we leave that definition in place is it continues to facilitate the matrix of lack and not self-empowering at all.
Right.
And lack from the practitioner standpoint of, oh my gosh, if I teach them that they can do this, then I'll have no clients. Kind of like the modern medicine world is. Mm-hmm. If I teach them how to heal, I'm going to lose billions of dollars on them taking this medication, or I'm going to be out of a job.
Yeah.
Instead of it, and it then puts that person on a pedestal. The doctor, you go to the doctor because they're the god of all medicine, and that's not how any of this works.
Right.
They're co-creators, they're co-masterminds with you and your body, and that's how it needs to be looked at.
Right.
We're helping each other facilitate your own individual blueprint of the regimen or the routine that works for you, and teaching you how to formulate a language with your mind, body, and spirit that you can do on your own when you practice the skill.
Well, I think most of the long-term practitioners that have been around for a long time actually teach this. Like, I can give you two very good examples. My energy healer, which there's only one guy that I've been able to really find that hits that energy mark, and that's Robert. Do you remember Robert? He's actually going to be at the Ozark convention, Ozark Research. Him and I had been talking, but he said it perfectly one time. He's, and he's got thousands of clients around the world.
Right.
He's huge. And he said, I don't heal anybody. I just redirect their energy and give them mine with it.
That's exactly right. And that's my premise. I don't heal anyone.
Right.
I redirect their energy. I redirect their awareness to their own internal frequency of their natural state of being.
Well, you know what
which
it is.
Then brings them to a place of realizing that they can find that frequency and do their healing themselves.
Correct.
But when they come into existence and go through their different trauma events, whatever, sometimes they'll lose the ability to find that frequency.
Right.
And what I do is I go in, I clear the junk out of the way, basically, by helping them identify patterns, programs, and look at their beliefs so that they can tap into that frequency. And so what happens is they tap into that frequency through my frequency. So I go in, and basically first thing we do is we clear the clutter around beliefs.
All the bullshit.
We clear the bullshit around a specific topic that's giving them trouble, that they don't like, that they're ready to change.
Right.
And they can't hear or feel the frequency because all the junk is in the way.
Right.
So we basically go in, we identify the most prominent thing that's bugging them at the moment. We clear away the clutter. And what I mean by clutter is you have a belief and your storyline. What is your storyline behind this belief? That'll tell you a lot.
Right.
I am afraid to go and drive a car. Okay, why? So I take the public transit all the time, or I walk. And they're tired of that and they want to do something different.
Right.
Well, they come to me. We go in and we find out where that fear stems from. Where's the base of that?
Somebody farted. Do you smell that? Oh, my God.
It wasn't me.
Oh, my God.
I'm sitting here having this conversation, and this putrid look comes across his face, and he's looking around. And the cat is sitting on the cat tree
staring
next
at me.
to him. She's playing with the ball.
That was crazy. It was like
I smell
rancid.
nothing.
You go, oh my God.
So apparently the cat
It
has
watered
gas.
my eyes. It got me off guard.
So I lose the attention.
Sorry.
Based on olfactory experience.
since my event, my sense of smell is astronomically crazy high.
Yeah, exactly. Since he's had his stroke event, he can smell.
It's insane what I can smell.
He's got superhuman smell.
It's been crazy.
According to you, it sometimes is a quite unpleasant
It
experience.
is very unpleasant, yes. The guy that walked by me a while ago, I could smell him walking down the road 50 feet from me.
He hasn't really found the gift within it.
Oh, there's a gift there. I'm working on finding it, but it's there.
Anyway, back to my example.
Yeah, sorry.
And what I was explaining is,
I didn't mean to distract you with my looks there for a moment.
if that individual is tired of walking and wants that part of their reality to change, essentially what I do is I go in and I find out what's the belief
Yeah.
that makes them so afraid to get into a car and tell the story that when I get into a car, I'm claustrophobic and I can't breathe and I don't know why.
Right.
Well, we get to digging around and we come to the fact that, in maybe their childhood, they had a very, very traumatic experience, or maybe even a motor vehicle accident that caused them to be trapped in the car that they forgot about.
Yeah.
And that created a very, very traumatic and fearful experience when they get in a car now, which causes enclosed feeling, claustrophobia.
Mm-hmm.
And they just absolutely did not want to interact with a motor vehicle until this point in their life.
Right. And this is from the business side of this. I want to take it to a business side for a moment.
I'm not ready for you to go there.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So then what I do is I go in, we clean that fear and that crap out of the way, because I was trying to explain to you what I mean by we get rid of the clutter.
Mm-hmm.
So we get that clutter out of the way and we define where the root of that belief comes from, and we begin to work with that. And that's what I mean by the clutter.
Okay. Is this my permission?
Yes, if you are insistent upon going and skipping steps.
I'm not skipping steps. I didn't. I just wanted to, because we always teach on the premise that knowledge is power, and that's how we teach people. And what they need to understand is the consumer has changed because of three things. A, it's called anchoring bias. B, we have a whole influx now of new, younger practitioners that have moved into the world, and they're all over YouTube. They're all over the internet, trying to sell their services to people, and they're anchoring people to think that they have to have a healer to heal.
Right.
And when the consumers used to buy because of how they felt and how it was existed, that this facilitator practitioner, aka practitioner, is in their world, because now the consumer has changed to where they're anchored to, they have to have a practitioner to heal.
I think that it hasn't changed. They were always anchored in that place.
Oh, I would agree. Somewhat. I mean, some of the older ones, they're pretty open about, hey, if I healed you, then don't come back to me because you healed yourself anyway. Like, I had that exact conversation with a couple of people at mini expos. And so I think the ones that are very veteranized, so to speak, into the practitioner world, they know that this could be the only time that we ever meet. And that's okay.
Yeah. There still is a handful of them that are the OGs that have been doing it a while that still come from the template of,
I would agree. There's a few of those.
I want to be seen as the guru of the technique that I use. Right. Put me on a pedestal. You have to have me to work this out.
Right.
And it is not the case.
Right. And I totally agree. I totally agree with that. And what everybody needs to understand is how anchoring bias works. And so when somebody's in the process of, you don't want to have this conversation, am I in the wrong place?
No, you can. Oh. I mean, I don't know what that word even means. I don't know what that means.
So anchoring bias, which I wrote about this in my book a little bit. I put a few topics in there, and that is where people will put things into their presentations, into their sales tactics, into their whatever, words that mean certain things in the narrative. So, like, for example, if you are going to buy a car and the salesman says, oh, yeah, this is a Dodge dealership, but hey, this car right here is the only one that has all this. And they'll move on. They won't. An anchored bias is a topic that somebody gives to you but moves away from, because they want to create a spot of curiosity, and then they will inflict that later into it again a couple, 2 or 3 times. And that's what a lot of these people on the internet and all over the YouTube and all that stuff, that's what they're doing. They're anchoring you to where you are addicted to this person instead of understanding and being knowledgeable that, hey, I enjoyed this interaction. So that's why I'm going to buy. I feel better because I'm going to go see this person because of this, not because you've been anchored. That's what you have to really look at in yourself and how to tell if somebody is doing it is when they bring up a topic about whatever it is you're talking about, but ignore it. So like if you're having a practitioner, like I asked Missy one time when she was doing that reading for me in Arkansas, I was like, how do you know all that? She said, that's not me talking. It's you. I'm not talking. All I'm doing is channeling what you're telling me in your energy.
Right.
But yet the other reader that was there that day was 100% tried to anchor me by saying, oh yeah, this information, I channeled this information. I channeled this information. And they move on forward. That's the difference that people need to see in the practitioners and in the world, period. Doctors do it, psychologists do it, salesmen do it. You'll get anchored in that kind of a way, and you don't even realize you're being anchored, and it's a subliminal type messaging that's called neuro-linguistic programming. And so, anyway, that's what I wanted to throw in there because, education is power, and I want you to explain it with them having an educated mind.
Yeah.
That way they understand that you're not anchoring them to anything right now, and what they've been hearing and why they feel like they have to go back to this person, no matter what it is because you've been anchored to it. And so you've got to subconsciously look at it.
It's not necessarily that they've been anchored to it.
Right.
There's so many beliefs and so many sections of one's life pie or one's belief system blueprint that if that person is your healer for right now, different topics, different subjects, different events will come up. And if you can't find the frequency of it, and you find that when you're in the presence of this individual that you call right now my healer, then they are facilitating and speaking for the collective, which is your counsel, your higher self, your intuition through the healer,
right,
to help that individual find the frequency of this topic so that they can then begin to work on the stuff themselves. That's why they return.
Yes, I agree.
And so sometimes it's not because they've been manipulated to return through the NLP. You can say it.
Neuro-linguistic programming.
I always have trouble saying that.
I forgot my...
I wanted you to say the words
neuro-linguistic
NLP.
Programming.
Yeah, I have trouble saying it out.
Yeah.
So it can be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It can be one or the other. It doesn't have to be that you're anchored in place by some wizardry of the mouth.
Correct.
It can just be that this person resonates with me right now.
Right.
They're in alignment with my counsel. They can tap into my space. I feel safe with them and allow them to tap into my space and be the vehicle that communicates to me. Because see, that's another component of it. If a client comes to me and they don't feel safe, they won't open up and I won't be able to get anything from their collective, either their higher self or their collective information in the archives or counsel, whatever they are,
right?
However they have their inner voices or voice structured. If they don't feel safe and they don't feel open, I will get nothing.
Right.
And I will say, I can't help you unless you allow me to help.
Correct.
And that's why it gets perceived that the practitioner is doing it for them.
Right.
Because the client, so to speak, I guess, is viewing it as they don't feel the frequencies quite like the practitioner does.
Yeah.
Because they haven't practiced it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so the practitioner feels the energy change. They feel the energy when they're tapped into that client's energy field and getting the data from that energy field and bringing it forth in a channeling way.
Yeah.
And even the practitioners sometimes don't really understand the premise. And so that's why they will sometimes even feel like they're doing it for them and misunderstand what's going on.
Agreed. And that's what's pushing it out there is the consumer is actually starting to really be anchored into the thought process that I'm not healing myself. That practitioner is healing me, and that's why I want to go see them. And as a good practitioner, we should always make sure that people are buying the feel and the result of it, not necessarily train them that you're the one doing it, because it's in this world, even doctors don't heal your body.
Your body heals
Your body heals itself.
That's right.
They just facilitate it. It's the same thing across the board. And it doesn't matter if you go buy a Dodge, a Ford, a Chevy, or whatever it is. You're being, the whole thing is just facilitated. The result is pretty much the same with different names.
Yeah.
And that is the same thing as you.
Right.
And so when you
make a decision in your belief systems, even in the modern medicine world, that you feel comfortable with this doctor, you feel comfortable with the recommendations that they're making, then what happens, even on a subconscious level, whether you're aware of it or not, you give your body permission to heal.
Yes.
Because of what this doctor recommended you do, or the medication or supplement the doctor recommended that you take.
Yeah.
You still make either an unconscious or a conscious decision to allow that, whatever it is, information, supplement, medication, to go in and work inside the body, either cohesively and synchronized with the body, or the body rejects it.
Yeah, I agree totally.
Based on what you gave permission to do.
Right.
And so even your doctor's not healing you, you're healing yourself because you felt a certain way about what they were presenting. It's no different in the metaphysical world when we work with your energies and your collective perspective,
right.
Higher self, full on, 12-member council, whatever that looks like.
Right.
What we're doing as practitioners, what I'm doing as a practitioner is I'm going in, I'm tapping into that space because you gave me permission to be there.
Right.
Because if you don't give me permission,
you can't be there.
I can't open the door.
Right.
And that's why as a client, you'll go to a practitioner and there's just not much that comes out of it.
Yeah.
That's because the client is not fully giving a full permission to get in there and access all the different areas, because your higher self and the beings or whatever that you work with on your own individual basis are only going to allow you to work on what is in the highest and best interest of your client.
Yeah.
And you will only be granted as a practitioner access to the depth of what that individual client's higher self will allow, because that higher self knows how far this client can and will and is ready to go.
Right. Yep. Yep.
And that's how that whole mechanism works. You're the vehicle. You're the facilitator. You chose the perfect word for it.
Right.
And the thing that's getting confused is, as practitioner, I don't want to be viewed as the one doing the work, because that's not what's happening. I'm facilitating you finding the frequency and the understanding of how the mechanism works.
Right.
Because like you said, with knowledge comes release, relief,
right.
reprogramming.
Yep.
And that's what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm helping you find the frequency of where you want to go,
Yeah.
finding the crap that's in the way, and letting you decide, okay, here's the frequency of where you want to go. Feel what that feels like.
Yeah.
Here's the knowledge of the crap, the garbage that's in the way that's not allowing you to feel your own frequency within that. You get to make a choice now of whether you get rid of the garbage, align with the frequency, and then do the work to change the habits around being able to find that frequency again and again.
Yeah.
Practicing doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
Every single person on this planet can do what I do.
Yeah.
With practice. I have been doing this for 30 plus years, and I started out doing it with myself and my friends and family to practice. And anyone that is in any kind of job, doesn't matter what it's called, when you've been doing that job for 30 something plus years, you become an expert in that job.
Oh, yeah, totally.
This type of job is no different.
Right.
I have been tapping into people's frequencies and energies, and I understand that, and I know what those feel like in my body, because my body and I have formulated a very specific language, and I understand that language.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I utilize that for the benefit of others when they feel confused and lost and they can't quite find the frequency because the radio station is too staticky.
Mm-hmm.
And so they come to me. I help get rid of the static so that station comes in clear where they can hear it. Because if you can get to a place where you could hear it, then it gets easier to find.
Right. Yep.
And in them practicing finding it on a more consistent and regular basis, it may mean that they have to come to me once a week to where we go back in and I say, okay, let's get to a place where we can feel that frequency again.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a practice. It's like if you're learning how to play basketball and you go to practice every week.
Right.
It's because you're going there to practice muscle memory of shooting that free throw from the free throw line, and you're training your body on how to feel what that feels like, and you've got to practice it. It's no different.
That's what coaches do. That
It's
is
just
facilitate them learning, teaching their own body to do things.
Hence the reason for being called a holistic coach.
Yep.
Or a
Holistic
life coach.
Yep.
We are not doing it for you.
Right.
We're
we are not
coaching
physicians.
you.
Right.
Physicians don't do it
Neither.
for you.
Right. You're right.
They're facilitating you finding your own healing by means of me, such as people like me. I tap into wherever you'll let me tap into, your Akashics, your higher self, whoever wants to come through, whatever wants to come through based on what you've allowed.
Right.
Your physician does the same thing.
Yep. I agree.
They evaluate your physical symptoms or mental symptoms. They offer a treatment plan or regimen.
Right.
You then decide whether or not it resonates with you, and you either take the medication or do the therapy, and you see improvement because you've allowed it to come in and you've told your body, your own personal universe, that it's safe and we're going to utilize this tool. Or it's not completely resonating because I haven't given it permission to, I don't feel completely safe, it doesn't align, then it's not going to work. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is.
Yep.
Whether it's a pill, whether it's an M&M somebody called a pill, whether it's a therapy session with a licensed psychologist, or whether it's a coaching session with a life coach such as myself.
Right.
If that client is not getting permission and doesn't feel safe, then that person no longer is their healer. That person is no longer their facilitator.
Mm-hmm.
And so the topic I brought to the floor is I I don't care for when people say, I can't heal myself.
Right.
Or when practitioners say, clients can't do this for themselves.
Yeah, we've had that happen just recently.
Absolutely myth busted. It's a myth. It's not true and it's not accurate. That's people not understanding how the mechanism works.
Right.
And it's not true. That comes from a place of being in the lack mentality matrix. If I'm a practitioner and I have this client believe that they've got to have me in order to heal themselves, then I have an issue with lack in my own blueprint. And I'm afraid that there's not going to be a client to replace them if they go away. So I've got to convince them that they need me. So they'll keep coming back every week and paying their, counseling fee so that I can keep making an income.
100%.
Because I don't believe that there's enough people out in the world that will come to me intermittently or on a regular basis for me to help facilitate them finding the things that are jamming them up and find the frequency of their natural state of being.
Right.
Because you can have a repeat client. It just may be that it's a couple of months before you see them again.
Right.
Couple of years or whatever, but there's plenty of people out there that are always looking for the beacon. They're always looking for the signal.
Yeah.
And if you're trapped in the lack mentality that this is the only client on the planet of the earth, then you're going to feel like you need to anchor them in and make them believe that without you, they
fail.
They can't do this. Which is essentially you trying to take their power away from them, and that's not right.
I agree.
We should all be trying to reiterate to our clients to have self-power.
Yeah.
And to give that back to them. There's plenty of things out there that steal people's self-power, and we should not be facilitating that.
I totally agree.
Come out of the lack template as a practitioner and teach your clients that they are the ones doing the work, even if they're not consciously aware of it. You're not doing the work. You're facilitating the components, whether it be helping them find the energy, helping them find the garbage around the belief, helping them come to the realization that they have a definition that's wonky.
Right.
You're bringing them to a state of awareness and then bringing them to a state of remembrance.
Right.
That's what you're doing. You're facilitating that.
And here's a way for the people to resonate with what you're saying with them is this. Like we just did this study because of the Jindan. I just did a study on the internet and how people view yoga on the internet. And the crazy part about that study that I read was that over 20% of the people that actually pay for memberships at yoga studios, online yoga, those kind of things, have been doing yoga for over 20 years. Mm. And so why do they keep going back? They know all the poses. They know the flows. They probably know them better than the coach that's teaching it. Mm-hmm. But yet they still go back. Why? They go back because they like the feeling of it.
Right.
They like being in the group of people. They like being around the energy of the coach. Mm-hmm. Whatever that is that it is facilitating, that good feeling is what practitioners need to move to.
Yeah, that's right.
You're facilitating a feeling. You're not selling a service because you can't sell what they're providing.
That's right.
They're providing the service. All you're doing is facilitating them using their own service.
Right.
Which in turn gives them a certain feeling. And it's the same thing you do. Like I go to the same person to get my hair cut. I can go get my hair cut from anybody.
Right.
But why do I go get this? Why do I go back? Because it's fun. I like this person. Right. I like the service can be bought anywhere.
Right.
And it's the same kind of thing. And if practitioners would get into that mindset and quit being fearful, then they would quit teaching the anchor to come back. Or you have to have me to feel better.
Right.
It's not right.
And it's a different energy. It feels different. And so when you get to that place where you're not living in that lack mentality and you're not putting out that lack energy, inadvertently, what practitioners will find is that when they can come out of that perspective and embrace that, their clientele will go through the roof.
Oh, yeah, totally. 100%.
Because it's a much different energy of, oh my God, these are the only clients on the face of the earth. I've got to keep them. I've got to keep them close.
Right.
I've got to keep them coming back, or my paycheck is going to show the evidence of that.
Right.
That's a much different energy to the universe than having the free feeling of, I'm a facilitator. People come, people go. There's plenty of them out there. And what that does is that will bring in a whole different frequency and a whole different vibration within the practitioner's field
100%.
of belief. And what they'll find is that their client load will dramatically increase.
Right.
Because they've let go of that heavy, lower vibrational frequency and energy around it.
Right.
And it'll happen overnight if they can just get to a place where they realize that they're doing it.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, I know that this podcast is going to have an emotional effect on some people.
Yep.
And that's okay.
100%.
Because sometimes bringing things to the person's awareness or the people's awareness is not comfortable.
Right.
But it's necessary.
Right.
And people trying to stay comfortable will turn this podcast off.
Right.
But that's their journey.
Yeah, I agree.
But people that are willing to become uncomfortable for a moment and really want to have change in their life will stop, and they'll ask themselves questions of, wow, that really binged me.
Yeah.
I obviously have something I need to look at, whether it be a client or whether it be a practitioner, because it's a podcast for both.
Yeah.
As a client, I hope it hits that spot of, oh, I am the healer of my own being. This person is just facilitating that.
Right. Redirecting
it will
energy.
re-empower them. And what will happen for that client is that they'll begin to have profound levels of release and reprogramming and integration and improvement in their reality with their healer that they love going to. They'll begin to see bigger and better results.
Yeah.
And for the practitioner, I would hope that it makes them stop and say, oh, am I doing that?
Right.
And if I am, I don't want to live in a lack template.
Right.
Unconsciously. And what will happen then is that they make a decision that they want their reality to look different. They'll let go of that baggage of the ego saying, I am the healer.
That is ego. It's all ego.
I have all of these clients and you need me to be able to heal yourself because you can't heal yourself.
Right.
I'm going to say bullshit.
Right.
But I want the practitioner to say, okay, wait, there is something to this.
Yeah.
And, that's right.
Yeah.
I facilitate it.
Right.
So am I living in the template of lack? And if they are, and they decide that they're ready to clean that up as a practitioner, and they do the work to kind of clean that up and come out of that template,
right,
then they have a profound increase on their client base.
100%.
And it changes their life. The ones that get pissed off and they turn it off and move away, it's not a podcast for them.
Right. And
so be it.
And I want to make sure people understand that you can grow your client list without doing the anchoring bias that you're the one doing it.
Absolutely.
Like for example, I teach this in my book as well in Sales Energy Method, is that 88% of sales are done because of an energy and a relationship built between those people.
Yeah.
Even car salesmen. It doesn't matter if you're whatever product you're selling. Like less than 20% of sales done period across the world are done off spur of the moment, which is the other highest level of sales in the world. That's why those candy bars are by the registers when you're checking out at the grocery store. It's called impulse.
Mm-hmm.
So you have relationship purchasing and then you have impulse purchasing.
You're right.
And like, for an example, my barber for years back in Texas, her name was Rhonda. She was a terrible barber. She could not cut hair without leaving lines and stuff for years, but she had a huge client base because people liked her. She had a relationship with them.
Right.
And that's what hair salons do. That's what barbers do, all that stuff. They're not selling a service because everybody, they can go buy that service from any other person. Those people keep coming back to you because they like you, because of the relationship. Well, it's the same thing that you can do in your relationship or in any of your clients, that any relationship you build with your clients, you need to understand that it's an energetic exchange. And when you put yourself into a position that you are the only person that can solve this solution, their subconscious mind will say, and your client base will slowly dwindle. And
yeah, I mean, if you, like I said, if you've got that mindset that you've got to
kiss an angel, good morning,
this individual client that they need you in order to do this work, you'll constantly struggle against the stream to get more clients, and it will, you'll struggle.
You'll struggle constantly because they feel the energy behind it. And subconsciously it doesn't feel good because people want to be self-independent. And when you sell a energy of that you have to have me to be independent, then the subconscious mind's going to start kicking in at some point.
Right.
And and this is on the other side of this topic, is you can very easily do what you do, the service that you provide, whatever that is, in a very trustworthy way without creating that negative energy that will grow behind it. And it's very simple. It's 3 easy steps. First of all, you should always, 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 always make sure that you're up front and tell them that, hey, I'm not doing this healing. I am just facilitating you healing yourself. You should say that. That should be look, I'm not healing you. I'm just facilitating your healing.
Right.
Number 2 that you can do is you need to understand one thing. If you don't know your client's last name, then you're not building a relationship with that person. And you need to get to know that person. You need to understand that in the anchored bias behind it should be in the relationship that you're building with them. And one of I just use that as an example because it's a better way to start building a relationship. When you actually know somebody's first and last name, that means that they have been intimate. Like, how many times do you get introduced to somebody that you shake their hand? Do they say, my name's James Emery? They don't. They say, I'm James. Do you understand? So it's, if you can get them to enter, that you understand, I want to know your last name. It makes them feel important. And that's where that kind of stuff needs to come into play. And the third thing about it is you need to... That
may be the truth when you're selling a product or something out there. There's a lot of times I only know the last name simply because the client wrote it down on the form that I had them fill out. To do what I do, don't need to know
not saying that
their name first or second, and they don't necessarily care whether I know their last name.
Well,
and I can access intimate details without them even saying anything.
Understand.
So,
but you are very much different than most people,
and it depends on the type of service you're facilitating.
100% agree with that. I think that what I just said doesn't resonate with you because you do this stuff naturally and have a channel that you don't even have to have their names. You can just sit down with them. But what I'm saying with people to learn how to get to build what you have, they should build that relationship, because doing that is going to make you build that relationship with yourself. And so it's a two-way street. So you getting to know somebody, because you're going to, in response, say, oh, my last name's Emery. You're going to, and you'll start doing that and you're teaching yourself. I'm talking about the minor people that are, especially all the new ones, the new younger facilitator practitioners. Mm-hmm. They have a tendency to try to loop recuperating funds by looping people back to them. And you don't have to do that. But the last part of that 3 steps is understand that your productivity and the way they feel when they walk away, 99% of the time is what determines if they're ever going to come back to you. And so you build a relationship, You understand, first of all, honesty and trustworthy is built in the beginning because trust is earned, not given. Relationship building is there. And then the last thing is how they feel when they walk away.
I just think that on this topic, we have two very different perspectives, and we might just agree to disagree on some aspects of it. Just like the trust, I don't necessarily believe that it's earned and not given. I come across complete strangers all the time that want my services based on how they feel. And
Agreed.
they don't know me from Adam, and I don't know them from Adam.
Once again, this is that same topic that you're just way more advanced than most people are.
They're giving the trust.
They will, automatically by you.
And I didn't do anything necessarily special to earn it. Right. I didn't do anything to, I didn't do some circus trick to necessarily earn their trust in it.
I agree.
I just am my natural, truthful, authentic 100% self.
100% agree.
And that's exactly what I do is, I correct my clients all the time. I need to come to you for a healing session. I need you to work on this, or this, and heal me. And I'll tell them, then don't bother because I don't do the healing. When you're ready to heal yourself, I will help facilitate that for you. When you get to that place, then call and make an appointment.
Yeah.
And, and I work with people all the time, everywhere I go, working with people.
Well, I think the mission of this whole podcast is to make people understand that no matter where you go, what practitioner, facilitator, physician, that all they're doing is facilitating the operation. And that operation is within you.
Well, and that was my agenda whenever I touched this sensitive topic. It wasn't to, run clients off so that practitioners wouldn't have any clients.
Right.
I mean, that doesn't help me either. I work with clients on a regular basis as well.
Right.
It's to redefine the place where we come from.
Yes.
Because if we're truly wanting to empower an individual and give them their power back, we have to teach them that they're doing the actual work. We are just facilitating them finding the place to look inside of them to find the different components of the mechanism that's in play here.
Yes.
And that mechanism is you have a belief system that's working in the background. If you've never looked at that, then it is old and outdated, and you're running a reality, a holographic reality based on an old, outdated belief system. When you get tired of your reality repeating the same old bullshit, then you get to a place where you're ready to look at those belief systems and work with them.
100%.
But if you've been running that unconscious belief system for long enough, 10, 15, 20 years, then you forget, and you haven't formulated a language with your body, your energy body, your physical body, your mental body, then you forget what that feels like. You forget how to find that frequency.
Yep.
When you forget that, then confusion comes in and you feel stuck.
Yep.
You feel confused. You don't know where to start. God Almighty, where do I begin? Where do I even look?
Right.
So then you begin to find that you're going through looking for little breadcrumbs. You're walking into metaphysical stores or libraries looking for a book, looking for some sort of place to find some education to teach you. And what inevitably, whenever you're... Sorry.
Were you calling the Yetis in?
No, we were just clarifying the channel a little bit. Inevitably, then what happens is that your higher self says, okay, you're ready. You really want this. Then I'm going to align you with the next person.
Yeah.
And you find yourself on maybe YouTube and a video pops up and it dings your bell and you're like, oh, let me listen to this
Or on
person.
Lucidium World at the practitioners.
That's right. Or you come across an individual and they say the right words of, hey, I'm a life coach.
Yep.
Or whatever. And then here we go. We're off and running.
Yep.
Then what happens is they bring those beliefs that are antiquated to your physical reality. They start teaching you how to become aware when a belief is ready to come up
Yeah.
and it's outdated. And then they start teaching you how to rewrite that belief, dissolve that belief, work on the definitions around that belief. There's many different areas,
Yeah.
forgiveness, whatever that looks like, depending on the belief. And then they begin to train you to find that frequency and modify the habits around that, because we're habitual creatures.
Yep.
We will always fall back on our comfortable habits.
Yep.
And you have to consciously catch yourself doing that and retrain a habit.
Agreed.
Because it's comfortable.
Yep.
And it's convenient.
And it's easy for the subconscious mind too.
Right.
Anyway, well, I feel good. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Hey guys, don't forget to like, follow, and share. Go to our website, www.themerchcenters.org. And did you have anything else before we close? You good?
I think I'm good.
And don't forget to follow the podcast. Share it with somebody that might need it. You just never know.
Yeah.
Also, check out Lucidium World at www.lucidiumworld.com. You can check out the Jen Dan Yoga stuff at jendanyoga.net. Which will be up to probably the next day or two. That website will be up. And let's see. Oh, we're going to be at Ozark Research Institution in April 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. We'll be speaking on Sunday. I think it's the 5th. I think it is. I don't even know. I don't know what day it is. But anyway, we're speaking on Sunday, whatever that is.
I'm telling you, you need to look at the letter. It's
Okay.
Monday at 9 a.m.
Okay. But anyway. So I'll look at it.
We will also have a booth there.
Yeah, we'll have a booth
with
there.
some of our merchandise.
A lot of our merchandise,
I'm going to
actually.
be bringing some birthday cards. I'm going to be bringing T-shirts.
Our books.
Our books will be there.
And we'll be doing sessions there.
Yep. We'll be doing some sessions live.
Yeah. And we may do a live broadcast from there. Let's have to see.
Whatever.
We might do a podcast from the convention. But anyway, guys, don't forget to like, follow, Cheryl, and ring
that bell.
I just totally screwed that up, didn't I?
Yeah, you
Let's try that again.
You've been stepping on me all day.
What? Wow. Did you all hear me? I want to comment in there. Did anybody hear me step on her? Okay, just checking. Don't forget to like, follow, and share, and
ring that bell.
Hey, we hope you all have an awesome day.
Love ya.